Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Hope you're doing pretty good. I just want to give a big thank you to everybody that popped into the stream last night when we went over this Diecast news live. I had a really good time. It was a lot of fun, and I definitely think we'll continue doing that going forward. If you want to watch the live, it is posted. Just go to my channel. There's a playlist, or you can go to the live tab and see it. But anyways, I wanted to also just record the regular news video for anybody that didn't want to watch the live. So that's what we're doing today. So we'll jump right into it. We've got a lot to look at. I'm going to try to go quick. If there's something you want to see, go ahead and pause the video and look, but I'm going to try to go fast so that these videos are not an hour long, because I think this is the longest news video that we have ever had with the most amount of stuff. So anyway, starting off with Mini GT, as you can see on screen, we did get an update for Mini GT number 1218. It is the Rexy from the 2025 IMSA Sebring 12 hours. It was the class winner, of course. And this is the one with the braces where he's holding the Mobile One oil can. And the two changes that I could see that they made was the tire printing is a little bit different between the old one and the new one. You can see it especially on this front wheel right here. The logo is a little bit smaller. And then the back one's also just slightly different than the other one from what I can tell too. And then the only other difference that I can see is they made the oil can or the oil container that's in his hand just slightly smaller. So there's the update for that. This model is now canceled. There's going to be a couple other topics that I bring up about this later in the video. But as far as I can see, it doesn't look like Nissan has a good relationship with Top Secret anymore. Therefore, Mini GT has canceled this model, Mini GT number 1187. It's the Nissan Skyline GTR Top Secret VR32 in Stealth Gray. This is canceled. We will not be getting this. And yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I would rather Nissan keep their integrity with Nissan rather than sacrifice it just for one aftermarket company. It does suck. I understand there's a lot of people that like Top Secret, but it is what it is. And yeah, this one is canceled. Up next for regular pre-orders on March 30th, we did get this one. This one includes a Mazda Miata MX-5 Pandem, and it has this IMSA livery, which is pretty similar to the one we saw in the Liberty Walk RX-7 a while back. So that one's pretty cool. We've got a Mazda RX-7 Veilside Fortune 7 in green. Then we have finally, the Porsche 963 Penske Motorsports. This one's from 2025 IMSA Daytona 24 hours. Of course, the number 7 car is the one that won, so that's what we're seeing here. It'd be really cool if they made the number 6 as well. But the casting's not dead. It is here. This is hype. If you want this, I highly recommend pre-ordering it. Just as well as the BMW M Hybrid that got put on pre-order before this. Pre-order these. They're going to be hot. They're going to get price gouged. So get them now and pay less now instead of waiting and paying more later. That's my recommendation. We also have this Aston Martin DBS in Stratus White. LB Works Lamborghini Huracan GT. This is the Street Customs version in white and green. This is another one that I think if you want it, it's probably not a bad idea to pre-order it. These will probably be very hot as well. This is one of Mini GT's most popular castings ever. So if you want it, definitely put a pre-order in. And then last but not least, we have another Mazda AZ1 AutoZam. This one is the Liberty Walk LB40 in the LB Hinomaru theme is what they're saying, but it kind of goes along with the Athlete Colette stuff that's already come out for some of the other silhouette castings. So a pretty good pre-order here. Wow, that was a lot of words. All right. This pre-order was from April 9th. This one is just 4. So starting off, we've got another Bugatti Bolide in yellow. Hopefully they release the first one that they put on pre-order. It's been quite a while now. We also have a Mazda RX-7 LB Super Silhouette in a police livery. This one's really cool. I think it's going to go well with the OG police GTR that they did years ago. Next up, we've got something from the Senna collection. This is the McLaren MP4/4 number 12 car from the 1988 Canadian Grand Prix. Of course, this was the winner. Course. And then last but not least, we have the Shelby GT500 Dragon Snake concept in chrome silver. I kind of rolled my eyes when I first saw this just because it was chrome, but it turns out this is actually based on an old Shelby Cobra car that was done in chrome. So a pretty good mix here as well. They also did put this on pre-order. I don't know why the photo's so blurry, but this is the Lamborghini Huracan Storado all-terrain set. This is Mini GT set number 26, and it includes all 4 of these Huracan Storados that you see here. So I don't know which name corresponds to each livery, but there's the Neve or the Neve, there's the Sabia, there's the Bosco, and there's the Terra. So this is a 4-car box set. Looks looks like retail price here in the United States at least is going to be about $60. This is another one that if you want it, I definitely would recommend putting a pre-order in. These box sets do tend to be pretty hot, especially Lamborghini, Porsche, all that kind of stuff. So if you want this one, I do recommend placing a pre-order at some point before the actual release. Moving on, they also did put out an announcement for this. These are 2 USA exclusives. These are actually true USA exclusives. For those of you that don't know, USA or Miho exclusives used to put USA exclusive on pretty much all of their packaging for Mini GT when it really wasn't a USA exclusive. They were just talking about the packaging. But these are 2 true USA exclusives. We've got a Chevrolet Corvette ZR1 and a Ford Mustang GTD, and they're calling this livery the America 250, just kind of a celebration. Pretty cool. These are going to be individual models. This is not a box set or anything. For those of you that are outside of the United States, these should not be hard to get a hold of. If you do want them, again, I'd probably recommend placing a pre-order just since they are regional exclusives. But yeah, pretty cool set there. We also got 2 more James Bond pre-orders. Very, very cool. So we have the Aston Martin DB5 from Casino Royale, which from what I understand uses the same license plates as some of the older movies. Just a little tidbit there. So very cool. And then also finally, this one I'm really excited for. This is the Aston Martin V8 Vantage from The Living Daylights. Very, very cool. I watched this movie recently, and this car was awesome in it. So there we go. Up next, Hobby Expo China. This was the event model that Mini GT prepared for it. It's a 2-car box set from AO Racing, and it is Rexy and Roxy. None of these are actual race cars from any of the events that they ran in IMSA. These are kind of just the AO Racing like presentation versions of them. So yeah, that's the box set, limited to 5,000 pieces worldwide. They're expensive. I looked. I didn't want to pay $250 for this set, so I'm skipping this one, which is probably a shock to a lot of you. But yeah, there's the event model. Also, here's the event models for Kaido House for HEC. So the one on the left with the red is just the regular event model, and then the one on the right was the dinner exclusive. So the One Night in China dinner exclusive with the purple. So there are those. They also announced this. So this is an event going on in Japan with both of the Mini GTs that you see here. These are just packaging exclusives. This is not actually an exclusive model. As you can see here, I pulled them up. These are the models. They're already on regular pre-order. In fact, I think the Sylvia has been for quite some time. So yeah, $11.95 and $11.57. If you want the exclusive packaging, you can try to hunt them down. But yeah, these are just regular models. Up next, Mini GT actually announced this yesterday. So this is a new collaboration with Kazama Industries for Formula Drift Japan 2026. And they're showing off this Lexus LBX drift car. So I'm assuming we'll see this along with a bunch of other stuff from Kazama Industries. Pretty cool collab. Definitely really, really excited to see more Formula Drift stuff from Mini GT. It's one little sub-series of motorsports that I personally really do enjoy. So there's that. Also, Cube Cars, not sure who is super into these, but I'll show the pre-order announcements for them anyway. So here's this one. Looks like there's a Lamborghini Revuelto, a Toyota, is it the 2000 GT, or no, not 2000 GTR. I don't remember exactly what the code, the 3000 TRD. I don't know. It's one of those TRD Supras from back in the day. There's a Liberty Walk, Silhouette R34, the Chrome Blue S15, a Veilside RX-7, and a Porsche. So pretty cool there if you're into those. Up next, Kaido House pre-order. 4 of them, which is pretty standard. So we've got a Toyota AE86 Sprinter Trueno, a Chevrolet Silverado Kaido Intimidator, a Honda NSX Kaido Test Car Spec, and then a Nissan Skyline GTR R32. So pretty cool there. They also did drop this limited edition. This was for HEC, as was pointed out to me by someone on stream. Thank you for that. But yeah, this one's in actually a really cool antifreeze chrome finish, which I actually really do like the color for this. I'm not real into Kaido House, as many of you may know, but this is actually kind of a cool one in my opinion. So there's that. They also did release this Black Limited for their event in California that they did not too long ago. Limited to 200 units. It's in like a dark metallic forest green. So yeah, there was that. Up next for HEC, we've got some exciting news from Mini GT. So they showed off a lot of stuff here, but this first slide is pretty much just a change in the blister packaging. Instead of having that triangle hole that's like a heat pressed together, they're just going to extend the blister a little bit, add a little bit more material, and then have the triangle up there. This is good for a couple reasons. One, you'll be able to remove the blister from the card art from the blister without ruining the card, and also it removes one hole from the blister. Now we don't have this triangle hole at the top of it, so a pretty good change. It is wasting a little bit more plastic, but pretty good change there. They also he did talk about their trying to increase their quality and craftsmanship a little bit. So you'll see on the top right there, you've got some windows. They're basically making windows better, so that we don't have like window gaps and stuff. And then they're also changing the plastic wrap that they're going to be using around the boxed models of cars. I don't really know why or what the deal was with that, but yeah, they're changing the plastic wrap. So there's that. And now we get into the juicy stuff. So Mini GT is going to be collaborating with Gaha Racing for the China GT. Very, very cool. Hopefully this means we get some more nice BMWs, and hopefully they're not all China exclusive. But yeah, there's that. Kaido Works also had some stuff here at HEC. So there's this right here. Very cool. Just like pretty much just showing off like some upcoming projects, I believe. So there's that. There's this Nissan Z right here, which I actually really do like this one. This one looks really clean. So there's that. And then there's also this one, which I believe is a Mercedes. Very nice. And then they also showed off this flatbed hauler, which I actually think is pretty cool. This is pretty neat. So yeah, there's the Kaido House stuff. And Mini GT also showed off a big Mercedes-Benz project that it looks like they're going to be tackling. So pretty much like a 140-year celebration of Mercedes-Benz. So you can see they've got a bunch of stuff here. The SLS AMG 1934 Mercedes-Benz 500K Spezial Roadster. Really cool stuff. They even got like the first automobile that Benz made right there with the motor wagon. Very, very cool. Benz SL class from the 80s. Just lots of really cool things are going to be coming from Mercedes and Mini GT. So that's definitely a thing to look forward to. They also did introduce some new IP collabs. So this first one kind of shocked me. We got Jurassic Park, which to me is kind of an interesting thing to collab with, but I guess there were some pretty cool cars from Jurassic Park and whatnot. So one of the ones they showed off was this Mercedes-Benz M-Class. So this kind of goes with their big Mercedes partnership, but looks like we'll be getting this from Mini GT, which is pretty cool. They also did show off this collaboration with Tokyo Extreme Racer. I'm going to have to play this game, try it out, see what's up with it. But yeah, this could be a pretty cool collab. I know there's one of you that was excited if they were to make this R34 that's on the cover. I know there's some of you that'd be really happy about that. So pretty cool there. They showed this off before, but their collaboration with the Drifter movie. So I'm sure we'll get a bunch of cars from here. Pretty cool. And probably one of the biggest parts of HEC that everyone was excited about is Mini GT announced this collaboration with Fast and Furious. So that's a big IP. Hopefully they don't beat it like a dead horse like Hot Wheels has. But yeah, pretty exciting, pretty hype. There's a lot of cool cars from Fast and Furious. It's not really my thing personally, but my opinion doesn't stand for everybody else. I'm excited that they're bringing this out for everyone. So I'm assuming it'll be years before we see this. They've still got James Bond to work through and everything. But yeah, Fast and Furious is coming from Mini GT, so that is hype. All right, up next, we get into the actual prototype samples shown off. So here is the Aston Martin Valhalla. I think we've seen this before, but now it's in a diecast sample. It looks really, really good. Excited for that one. There's the two Citroens we have seen. I think we saw these first at the Nuremberg Toy Fair earlier this year, back in January, I think it was. So pretty cool. Finished diecast samples now. Couple motorcycles, which we haven't really seen any motorcycles from Mini GT since we got the Ducati. But this one right here is a Honda. I don't remember the exact model, but this one's a Honda. And then we also have this Harley right here as well, which they announced Harley about a year ago. And we're finally getting our first like 3D printed sample of it here. So just goes to show how long it takes stuff to actually go from an idea to actually having it in hand. So there's that, really cool. Lots of Mercedes here. The SL65s on the side right here, at least I think they were the SL65s, Black Series. There's a version with the wing up and wing down. There's the SLS right there, the AMG 1, some of the older stuff. Really, really cool Mercedes stuff coming from Mini GT, and I got you with a couple close-ups here as well. So really excited for this stuff. It's going to be awesome. I love the wheels that they have on these. I believe these are the EQSs. Really, really cool. G-Wagons in the background look really nice. There's the AMG one. Really excited for that. So yeah, lots of Mini GT is going to be popping off with the Mercedes stuff. It's going to be crazy. We got two different Bugattis right here. Both of them are the Tourbillons. There's a regular one, and then there's also the other one. Somebody told me on stream last night, but I forget what it was. It's basically like a special spec of the Tourbillon. It's the Persang. Oh, yeah, the equip Persang option. So there's both of them there. Very exciting. We've also got these minis right here. I saw somebody make a post showing what these were from. I think there were some photos from like Car Magazine or something, but these are really cool. Some old minis. The center one right here was from like an actual like race event. So very cool there. Moving on, we've got some Hyundai transporter trucks right here. Again, they told me on stream exactly what these were. I think they were the H100s. Yeah, the H100. So two different H100s here. There's some close-ups. They look really, really cool. I like this kind of like city commercial type stuff that Mini GT is doing. It's really cool. And there's a big fan base for it too. So there we are. Really cool. Up next, just some more photos. There's the yacht in the background. It looks all finished now. We do also have some of these 20-foot containers, which were on this slide. So Evergreen, Hapag-Lloyd, Maersk, and then there's also this pink one container right here. Really excited for these little 20-footers. They'll go really well with the 40-footers that we've already gotten. And then this box truck right here looks awesome as well, with a Honda Prelude driving up into it, the new one. So very cool. Some Bentley blowers here. It looks like these samples are going to turn out pretty good. I can't wait to see the actual diecast versions of them. Hopefully we see that at Malaysia Diecast Expo or whatever the next event is. I think MDX is next. So yeah, very cool. They also got the Tuk Tuk from 007, so they're going to be making that as well. That one is really cool. Going to be exciting to see that in the flesh. New prototype sample here of the Temerario GT3. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty nicely detailed so far. So there's that. Also, this is the Cool KUHL. That's part of their collaboration. They did this Toyota GR86 in like an off-road spec, and Mini DT is going to be making it, which is very, very cool. It's got the tire on the roof and some accessories. So yeah, that one's going to be awesome. We also got a prototype sample here of a Toyota GR Yaris Rally 1. It's kind of funny to me that Mini DT is doing it before Tarmac Works has even released them, and they've been showing those off for years. So yeah, GR1 or GR Yaris Rally 1 from Mini DT. That's going to be cool. We've got some finished samples of the Lamborghini Temerarios here. We've got one in purple and then one in what looks like to me Verde Citria. So these are going to be awesome. So there's those. And we've got some Miatas here. I believe these are all Pandem body kits. In fact, this white one back here is the one that we just saw on pre-order. And then we've got a red one here in that same kit. And a little bit different kit on this red one here. A little bit older version of the Miata, and then we've got this one over here with the headlights up in this mint color. Looks really cool. We've also got some Liberty Walk stuff, of course. I'm really excited for this black NSX right here. I think this body kit looks really, really good with the body style of the NSX, so I'm excited for that one. We've got a new pink color for this Silvia. We've got the Hako right here. At least I believe these are Hakos. No, this is the Ken Murray. No, this is the Ken Murray, and then we have the Hako right here, the Liberty Walk Hako. So that looks really good. We also have these Silhouette R32s, which are coming along nicely. I believe this one in the front is already on pre-order, but then we've got this white and blue one, which I do really like, and then the Athlete Colette one. And then this rear end right here, I believe, is this 180SX that's back here in the background. So lots of cool Liberty Walk stuff coming. There's the new Honda Preludes. I'm not a big fan of this car in real life, but I do think it is a nice looking car. I just think Honda kind of fumbled with it. But anyways, Honda Preludes are going to be coming from Mini GT, which is really nice. I feel like we don't see a lot of Honda stuff from Mini GT, so glad to see some stock things coming from Honda. We also have these right here. The Carrera GT sample looks done. The headlights look amazing. That brown leather interior is phenomenal. This is going to be a masterpiece. And then we also have this crazy looking Porsche here. This is an AO Racing. From what somebody told me, they actually had this, AO Racing had this on display at the Petit Le Mans last year, and that's where this theme came from. So it's half the Skeleton Rexy and then half just a regular Porsche. That one's going to be pretty cool to have. Very unique. Up next, another photo of the G-Wagons. They look really good, silver and blue. There's some stuff we've already seen before, some Mustangs and some Corvettes. They all look nice. And here's some racing stuff. So we do have this McLaren GTR right here, which I think is one of their like test versions with the orange and silver. It looks awesome. Got this really nice looking Lamborghini right here as well. Some of the Subarus that we've seen before. Very, very nice stuff. That Mustang GT3 needs to be released though. Those have been on pre-order for way too long. But up next, just another angle of it. You can see that Temerario GT3 in the background right there. Looks really good. Pfaff Motorsports Huracan with the plaid. That's going to be a must-have for me. So yeah, very nice stuff. There's another angle of it. You can also see the boring concept Porsches right here. I believe one of them was a GT3 Cup, and then the other one was a GT3R. But yeah, they both look really good. I also see a couple little cones right there too. So those might be coming along with that box set. SC63, they're going to do this theme as well, which I'm very excited about. Some nice BMWs here. So very cool stuff. Lots of F1. I'm not an F1 guy. I know a lot of you are. So feast your eyes if you would like. There's these prototype samples on the side right here. Not sure exactly what those are, but really nice F1 stuff. Mini GT does an incredible job with them. So yeah, there's that. We also have some old F1 stuff. I think most of these are going to be part of the Senna collection, but really nice. Got the yellow ones back here, all the Marlboro ones here, blue and white ones. Very, very cool. There's some prototype samples there as well. Lots of cool stuff for the Senna. Range Rovers and Land Rovers here. Again, they look awesome. Love the Camel Trophy stuff. I'm starting to get really into it, so excited to see these. They also had a couple really cool dioramas on display at HEC, specifically for James Bond. So you'll see that they have the submarine Lotus on the right, which is like completely submerged, really cool. And then they have it when it would drove out onto the beach. So really cool. I know Glenn's really enjoying playing with this stuff, and these dioramas are pretty cool. Can't even lie. So there's that. Kaido House stuff. So there's the event models, and then the limited edition for the event. Kind of a bad photo, but I didn't really see anything super new shown off from Kaido House. We're seeing the Camaro prototype again, which I think we've seen before, and other than that, basically just like upcoming releases and stuff that's already on pre-order. So pretty cool stuff. There's the Volkswagen. So yeah, and a BBR. A lot of people have been excited for all the Ferrari stuff that's been shown off, and for good reason. There's lots of really cool stuff. Everything here is going to have brake details now, which is awesome. The F1 cars look good. There's the F50, the Testarossas, the F40s. Everything just looks awesome. Love the 599s. Those are going to be crazy. We also have the 499P, which somebody told me on stream last night is it's actually not the ones that race in Le Mans. This one's actually like a customer racing spec. You can see the brake details on that 12 cylindry right there. Really, really nice. But yeah, the 499P, I have a photo of it there, right there. There's the close up. It's actually just like a customer spec of it. It's not actually one of like the Le Mans specs. So I'm hoping, and I don't see any reason why they wouldn't make the ones from Le Mans. It doesn't really make sense not to, because you have the casting there and they have the Le Mans approval. So I'm sure we'll see a lot more from them. Basically what I'm saying is rest assured, even though this one isn't really the like one that we're excited for, I mean, I'm excited for it either way, there should be a lot more coming for this casting. So just stay tuned. But yeah, all this Ferrari stuff's looking awesome. There's the F80 right there. Really, really nice looking. So yeah, lots of cool Ferraris upcoming from the Mini GT BBR line. Here's some of the Cube Car stuff. Looks like they've got some massive ones now, so pretty cool for anybody that's interested in that. Got some really nice stuff. I mean, really nice casting selection. You got Volkswagen, the Volkswagen bus, the pickup truck, an R32 back there, some Porsche, BMW. I see an old Mustang back here as well, the 190E. So if you're interested in that, they're doing a lot of really cool casting, so that is a good thing. Up next, Tarmac Works, finally. So we have a March 2026 pre-order. This was all Global 64. And really nice stuff. So the highlight for me right here is this Porsche 928 GTS. This is actually in Ruby Star Red. This doesn't look like Ruby Star Red to me. I'm hoping that it's just like the lighting and whatnot. But yeah, Ruby Star Red, this should be really cool. Hopefully Mini GT and Tarmac Works paints for the Ruby Star stuff is similar enough to where they look good next to each other. That's like my one concern, but yeah, that should be cool. We also have a Nissan S Cargo in red, a Toyota GR Corolla in blue, a Mazda RX-7 Veilside Fortune 7 in a dark blue metallic, a Schuko collaboration, in other words, Spark, because that's pretty much the same thing. Porsche 962C from 1989 Le Mans, that's going to be really cool as well. Datsun Bluebird 510 wagon in yellow, and then last but not least, a Saab 900 turbo convertible in dark green, two-tone with the silver on the bottom, or the dark gray on the bottom. So nice pre-order from Tarmac Works. They also announced another pre-order for April. This is another Global 64 pre-order, and we've got the Porsche 911 GT3 RS 997.2 in like a dark gray with a red theme. That one's going to be awesome. I know a lot of people are excited, and so am I. It's a really cool GT3 RS spec. So that one's exciting. We've also got a Mitsubishi Lancer GSR Evolution 2 in a blue metallic. The OZ racing wheels on that look really good. Another Porsche 928 GTS. Was the other one a GTS as well? Yeah. So these are both GTSs, but this one's in a blue metallic. A note for these 928s. So this one right here, the regular release is going to have headlights up, and then the chase car is going to have the headlights closed. With the pink one, it's going to come with the headlights closed, and then the chase car will have the headlights up. I kind of like the way that they're doing it. It puts both models out in the same release. Although I don't think anyone's really going to want to pay chase pricing for a different headlight orientation. So we'll see how that goes. I kind of like the way they're doing it though. And then we've got this Vertex Nissan Silvia S15 down here. That one's an Evangelion collab, and then a Lexus LS400 in white. So pretty nice there. This is also Tarmac Works pre-order. They haven't posted this on their socials yet, so I don't know if it was supposed to come out yet. But this is a Carl Over Diecast special, which, if you don't know, is a big distributor there in China. And it's the LB Kaido Works Nissan R32 Skyline CLDC special. So looks really cool. I think these are going to be really nicely detailed, especially with like the hoses at the front and whatnot. So look forward to that. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more of this casting coming from Tarmac Works, so pretty cool there. They also had 2 event models for AGC. They had the Audi R8 LMS GT3 Evo 2, the Sean Weatherspoon collab, and then a Bentley Continental GT3 from the Bathurst 12-hour race of 2020. Really, really want the Bentley. I hope they release some of them later on because it looks really cool. But yeah, some nice exclusives there. They also announced they're going to be changing up the way they do their packaging. So now, it used to be in the U.S. we only got blisters, and then everywhere else was like box. But now they're making it to where you can get either the cardboard box or the blister pack globally. Any region doesn't matter. So I think that's a good change. Gives the collectors the ability to choose. Also, they showed their event lineup here. You can pause and read if you would like, just pretty much showing everything else that they'll be participating in for the rest of 2026. Moving on, we do have some really cool stuff shown off at HEC. So these are the Rover 3500 Group A cars. Back in, I think this was the British Touring Car Championship stuff. Really, really cool. I hope these turn out good. They're going to be awesome. We also saw some Toyota Hiluxes. The rest of it's hidden by this gentleman's username here. I mean, big shout out for the photos, but could have moved it a little bit to the side. But anyways, these kind of look like trophy trucks. Really like them. They look cool. Excited to see finished samples of them. We also have some other stuff. We've seen this CLK GTR up here before, but looks like it's still in like the resin sample. And then we have some Rocket Bunny stuff. So we've got the Silvia S14, and then in front of that we have the Nissan S13 180SX Aero V2. So is it an S13 or a 180SX? Are they kind of one and the same thing? I need to touch up on my my old Nissan lore. But anyways, it looks really cool. Then we've also got a couple Vertex cars right here, Toyota Cresta, and then a Nissan Silvia S15 as well. More Pandem stuff, Miatas, we've seen these before. We've also, I didn't mean to go back. We've also seen these RWB 930s before as well. So looking pretty good. More stuff from Liberty Walk here. So we've got the R32 Skyline prototype sample here. We also do see the LB Silhouette Works GT Mira, so the Lamborghini Mira again. Unfortunately, it looks like this one won't be licensed by Lamborghini, which I do not approve of because Lamborghini is not hard to work with. My thing is, if Mini GT can license it with Lamborghini and Liberty Walk, so can Tarmac Works. So yeah, a lot of people are going to be excited for this one. Hopefully it turns out good, but yeah, I don't know. It feels very, very icky to me to just go through Liberty Walk to make it. But anyways, you see some other silhouette versions of these cars down here. So the R34 and the S15s, they look pretty good. If you missed out on the Mini GT Auto Finesse version, looks like Tarmac has you covered. So there we go. Aston Martin Vantage GT3, that one's going to be really cool. I think we've seen all of this stuff before, but just wanted to kind of throw it up here quickly. Ford Mustang GT3, the SLS AMG GT3 as well. This Martini one looks awesome. And then this Porsche back here looked pretty cool as well. So moving on, there's the 997.2. This is the one that is on pre-order, this gray one with the red. These are going to be really, really cool. Again, we've seen all this stuff. I was just talking about the Yaris Rally 1. They've also shown off some Rally 2s. So pretty cool. Some Koenigsegg's, some Nissan Skyline 2000 GTRs. Everything looks pretty good here. So moving on, Motor Helix put out a pre-order for the diecast versions of the Nilus, and they look awesome. There's one in white, one in black, one in red. They did put out a pre-order. We covered it in the last news video, and they did 1/64 scale resin, but now they have the diecast pre-order with all the opening parts. So very cool. These look like they're going to be a little on the expensive side, around $50 to $60 USD, so just be prepared if this is something you want. These are going to be a little pricey. They also put out this pre-order for this RWB Silver Phoenix. It's the RWB 964. They did a silver one as an event exclusive for one of the past events, but now they're doing the same like livery, just in black as a regular release. This one will come with a little 164 engine on a little plank of wood. So that is cool. They also are putting out a pre-order for a bunch of different Mitsubishi Lancers. So these are the Evolution 5 GSRs, yellow, white, and black. They look really good. Then we also have the Lancer Evolution 6 GSR, one in white, one in blue, one in black pearl. And then last but not least, the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 6 GSR TME, which a few of you told me is a... I actually had the comment here, but it's the TME is I forget his name, but it basically an homage to a really, really, really good rally driver from back in the day. So very cool there. They're also going to be releasing this Liberty Walk diorama of the Nagoya headquarters store, so that is pretty cool. Thought I might as well throw that in here as well. And then this is also regular pre-order, Nissan Fairlady Z, the Option Stream Z 2002. They did release this one, I believe, at HEC as an event exclusive. I think it had some special packaging, but it is up for regular pre-order now. So there we go. And there's the one, oh, it was the GT show, my bad, not HEC. So yeah, they released it there with some special packaging, but it will be regular pre-order. So now we get into the event models. So GT show, they had the Subaru Impreza wagon in black chrome. They also had this Nissan Skyline GTR in chrome. And then the Honda Civic Type R in HKS livery. This one was also done in chrome, but they did release this one as just a regular livery a little while back. So yeah, just more chrome stuff. Nothing really too exciting for me, but they do have this right here. This is the Honda Civic Type R in like basically a midnight purple, and it does have the Shop for Fun logo right there, which I believe this is going to be an event model for the Manila Diecast Expo, if I'm putting two and two together. But yeah, there's that. They also had some HEC stuff. So this Honda Civic Type R in green metallic. Then they had this right here, Honda Civic Type R with a 118 scale engine, which I think is really cool. Just really unique. Motor Helix is good at making really cool, unique products. So there's that. They also have the same thing, but with a Honda S2000. So those are pretty cool. And then they're releasing this Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 4 GSR in, of course, the Rally Art Rally livery and it also comes with this pretty cool looking diorama of like a race scene. So there's that as well. And then for Greenlight Premium, I actually don't know if they're called Greenlight Premium anymore. We'll touch on that a little bit more later. But they have this Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 in vintage bronze. And this was their Greenlight Premium exclusive for HEC. It looks pretty cool. And then for the Shizuoka Hobby Show, which is May 13th through 17th, they are going to be releasing the Mazda 787B again, but again in this little display set with a 118 scale engine, which is really cool. I like this stuff. So there's that. And now we get into the stuff that they showed off. So these photos with this like wooden table in the background, this is actually photos that I believe Motor Helix shared like just on their own accord. So a bunch of these Alfa Romeo 8Cs, they look really, really nice. I don't know why the photos are so blurry, but yeah, a bunch of 787Bs, of course, really nice. I'm excited for the blue and green ones. There's the Nilus on the right, and then the Pagani on the left. I think that's the Zonda R Evolution. So very cool. Lots of cool Mitsubishi stuff, some Nissans. I think now we're getting into the HEC stuff here. But yeah, it all looks really good. Or maybe the brown table is HEC. I can't remember. But lots of cool Nissans, tons of R34s right there, as you can see. But they all look really good. And I actually am spotting like a Fast and Furious livery on this one. So that'll be interesting to see what they're cooking up. But yeah, all kinds of cool stuff from Motor Helix. Pause and take a gander if you would like. There's the Koenigsegg's right there. So yeah, lots of cool stuff. I think this is the HEC stuff. Yeah, this has to be because it has that green light Mustang right there. So yeah, lots of cool stuff. RWBs, the Honda Acties. I really like this one back here that's in the Castrol livery. It's pretty cool. So yeah, I also see some motorcycles down here as well. So it'll be interesting to see what those are. 4 GT40 samples coming along, as well as the Koenigsegg Jesko. That one actually looks like a completed sample. So hopefully those should be releasing sometime soon this year. Lots more stuff, just a big overshot of everything they had. Bunch of Miatas in the back, some Audis, R34s at the front, some R35s. I really like this NSX that's right here. That one is really cool as well. So yeah, just lots of good stuff. Honda, all their Honda stuff here, more R34s. Very, very cool. So there's the last of that overhead shot. And then they also had this mystery zone and basically just like showing off new castings. I don't know. Again, I don't know why the photo's so blurry, but there's the motorcycles. There's this like van right here. Lots of cool stuff. This one right here in the back is actually a Mitsubishi Lancer, and this almost looks like a Time Attack body kit, which if that's what it is, that could be really, really cool. So we'll have to stay tuned for that. Moving on to AR box, almost real. We've got this one right here. This was an event model for the GT show, which was back in March. Mercedes-AMG S63E Performance in Verde Silver. They also released this as an event exclusive for the GT show. It's a BMW Isetta fire engine set. This one's also really, really cool. I kind of want to pick one of these up. Next up, these were HEC event models, so they released this white Zonda R at HEC as an exclusive, and they also looks like they sold some more of the black carbon fiber ones as well, which I actually do have one of these black ones coming finally. I finally was able to snag one. Cannot wait to get it and take a look at it. They also have this one right here. As far as I know, this is just a regular pre-order. This is the Honky U7 in blue moon and white. That one is pretty cool. This is also a regular pre-order, but they did do a first launch of it at HEC. It's the Yangwang U9 in red. Looks really, really nicely detailed. It's also a pretty cool car. And then we also have both of these, again, first release at HEC, and these will be released globally later on. This is the Yangwang U9, one in obsidian black, one in sandstone green. They look pretty cool. And now we get into like AR Box's 10th anniversary. This is where things get a little bit confusing, but just stick with me here. So these three BMW Isettas right here. Well, I guess there's two Isettas and one 600. As you can see, the number 22, the BMW 600 in red, is limited to 3,000 pieces. And I believe these are all Hobby Expo China exclusives, except I think maybe the yellow one might be released later on. We'll have to just wait and see. But yeah, the number 21 is the Isetta Bubble Window two-tone yellow, and then number 20 is the Isetta Bubble Window red, also limited to 3,000. So yeah, I don't know why only two of them say 3,000 and then the yellow one doesn't, but yeah, this kind of kickstarts like their 10th anniversary celebration stuff. So there's the number 20, there's the number 21, and there's the number 22. Moving on, so the number 7 car of their celebration. This is the Mercedes-AMG G63 Cigarette Edition. I don't really know what that means, but this one does say it's exclusive to Hobby Expo China. So this one I do believe was an event model. Then we have this one as well, Camel Trophy Land Rover 90, and this one says It's limited to 1,000 units with a 1 in 12 chance to get the Chase version. So I guess there's a Chase. And this one also does say it's Hobby Expo China exclusive. I hope it's not. I hope they release these later because this is really cool. But there's that. They also did have the RWB 930 Stella Artois. This one, as you can see on the right, does have the Chase version. And as far as I know, this one is not HEC exclusive, but they did sell it at HEC. So the first release of it was at HEC, and then it says that they'll be selling it at both of their AR store locations, and they'll be on all platforms later on. So this should be a regular pre-order as well, is what I'm getting at. So number 4, we have this Land Rover 110 from 1985 Camel Trophy. This was the Borneo support unit. Really, really cool. This one says first release at Beijing Flag Store. It will be sold at HEC as well, and then after that, it'll be at the Dongwon flagship store, and then after that, they'll be available on all online platforms. So this one should not be exclusive either. Number 3, the Pagani Zonda F, a new fully opening casting. This one's really cool. This one says first release at Beijing and then the flagship stores. It will not, or sorry, first release at the Beijing and Dongwon flagship stores. This one was not sold at HEC, but they'll be online later for purchase. So these should be regular versions as well. If you don't know, ARBox has a flagship store, and so they're releasing a lot of stuff there first. But a lot of this stuff should be available later, including the Zonda F. Number 2, Porsche. This is the first Porsche we've seen from them. This is the 911 Carrera 992.1. This one, again, first release at the flagship stores. This one's not sold at HEC. Online pre-order will start later on. And finally, the number 1 model, this one actually is limited. So they sold it in a gift box set and then a regular edition. So there was 2 different versions. The gift box set was sold at the flagship stores, and the regular edition was sold at HEC. So there's that. Mercedes-Maybach S680, the almost real 10th anniversary edition. So there's that. Also, Ferrari, the AR box collaboration with BBR models. This was, along with like the Mini GT Fast and Furious announcement, this was one of the most hyped things that happened at HEC. So yes, BBR is now collaborating with both Mini GT and ARBox. Now, as far as I know, these Ferraris that they're doing are going to be like fully opening. As you can see, the F80 right here, the doors open and then the back opens. I can't remember if the front opens or not, but they're going to be fully opening. These are expensive. I think they sold these F80s at HEC, which was the first release. It looks like they'll be released at both of the AR stores and hopefully to the public later. But really expensive. As far as I know, these were like $80 USD retail price at the event at AGC. So very expensive, very high end. I don't know how I feel about them. If you guys are curious about my thoughts, I'm not sure. I wish they would do without the opening doors. I feel like it doesn't really add a lot to the model, except that it creates these giant panel gaps on the roof, as you can see. In fact, not even just the roof. Like this whole panel gap for the door is just really big and kind of ugly. I don't know that I'm a fan. I really don't. And I don't know that I want to pay that kind of money for big, ugly panel gaps. So I'm not sure. I wish they could just keep it to the front and rear hatches that opened. I feel like that's all we really need. But yeah, lots of hype surrounding this F80 right here. So anyways, now we get into all the prototypes and stuff shown. We have seen all these BMWs before, so nothing real new, but I figured I'd show them again just in case anybody wants to see them. So go ahead and take a pause if you would like. I'm just going to kind of skim through these real quick. Lots of prototypes here, though. BMW Z1, the M1, the Z3 Roadster, just all kinds of stuff. They even have an E36 M3 lightweight, 2002s. I see the new gen BMW M2 right there. Very, very cool stuff. GT3 car and the hypercar. Very, very cool. The table full of the Isettas, of course. It wouldn't be an event with ARBox there without a giant Isetta display. Somebody at ARBox really, really likes this car. That's all I can say. So yeah, there's those. Also, a few more here. And then, oh, I went too far. A few more of them, even more. So there's some of the event models and stuff. The fire truck one, and then the 3 that were HEC models. So very cool. There's this guy right here, like a Mercedes S-Class like limo, very cool. Some G-Wagons, And now we get into the Porsche stuff, which I think we've seen a little bit of before, but there's some really cool stuff here. It looks like AR Box is going to be hitting pretty much everything from Porsche. You've got the Porsche Cayenne right there. There looks like they're doing like all generations of the 911 and all the different specs of it. So lots of cool stuff. 2017 GT3 RS. Um, 2017 GT2 RS, just like they're hitting like everything from Porsche. We see some more race cars right here, which look really cool. Some 911s here as well, some Carreras. So just awesome, awesome looking stuff. So yeah, hopefully they do a good job with these. I've got high hopes. So also GT3 Cup car, bottom left right there, 911 Speedster, just all sorts of really, really cool stuff. So yeah, here's some more photos. Got some of the Yang Wangs down at the bottom and some more Mercedes on top. Mazda Cosmo Sport looks like it's nearly complete now. It looks really good. We also have a Toyota. Looks like they spelled Toyota wrong. Toyota Corolla 8086. So that looks pretty cool. And then there's also a Pagani Huayra BC with fully opening parts down there. So another Pagani getting checked off the list for like fully opening parts. Pretty cool. Some Land Rovers and Range Rover stuff. Very, very cool. This stuff looks really detailed. And then some more Porsche, some Panameras, and some more GT3Rs. Very cool. The paints look really nice on those Panameras. But yeah, here's the Ferrari stuff. What everybody's been waiting for. So I do have two photos of the F50 here. I didn't realize it. So this top left one and this bottom right one are both the F50. And then we also have an F40 and the LaFerrari. Again, even on these prototype samples, the panel gaps for the doors just look not good to me. So hopefully that's just because these are resin samples, but even with the F80, we kind of saw that it was a little So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. They also did show off this SF90 Spider, which is a pretty cool car as well. Just really bad panel gaps on these prototypes, and it looks like it doesn't really get a lot better with the die-cast finished version. So I don't know. We'll see. We will see. And then they also have this Ferrari right here. I believe this is from the newest 2026 season. So they're going to be doing some F1 stuff as well. So there we go. On to Trends Hobby. We've got a couple new pre-orders. So Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo 2. This one was from China GT. It actually did pretty well at the last race it competed into, but this is in the Ultraman theme. This one's actually going to be in an acrylic case, which is interesting. So it's a little bit more expensive because of that. But we've got the Porsche 911 GT3R from 2025 Le Mans, the Iron Dames livery. And then we've got these two right here, both from 2025 Le Mans as well. So we've got the Monty one and also the Chip Hart Racing. Very cool. And then we also have two Porsche 918 Spiders. One of them is in acid green and then one's in black. These do have opening parts and the opening rear hatch, and they look really, really nicely detailed for the price. So there we go. We also did get another pre-order from Trends Hobby, two Lamborghini Temerarios. Rest assured, these do have brake details. I've already checked. But yeah, really nice colors. This blue one is like the presentation color, I believe, and then the green one look really good. So they've got the front hatch, the front hood opens, and then also the rear hatch comes off. So very cool. More Porsches. So these are both from 2024 Le Mans, and they look really, really good. At least, well, these aren't actual renders of the car, which is something I wanted to touch on. The actual cars themselves look really, really good, but I wish Trends Hobby would wait for to put out pre-orders until they have actual renders of their models, because right now we're just kind of blind buying, right? So that is one small complaint I have with Trends Hobby. Like some of their stuff, like these Temerarios, these are the actual model renders, but these photos right here are renders of the actual race cars. So I don't know, it's a little funky that they do that. But anyways, two Lamborghinis as well. These are both from 2025 DTM. We do see some samples of these at HEC. They look awesome. So there's those. And these are the two event models that they released for HEC, Lamborghini Temerarios, collaboration with Jean-Michel Basquiat, I think is how you say it. And yeah, they're both chrome. Not really my thing, but yeah, there they are. They also did have these like special products for sale at HEC. These are cars that we have gotten / will be getting. I don't think that orange Porsche has been released yet, but little diorama setups, and they are really, really cool. So there's the two event model Temerarios. Here's this set with the 3 Porsches. And then here's this set with the 911 GT1. This one is the most unique because it actually is like snowy, like it's a snowy version of it from the ice race. And yeah, really, really cool. This is the type of stuff I like to see for event models. But, anyways, moving on, there's the Temerarios and the 918s that we've seen on pre order. They look really good. Here's these 2 Lambos again from DTM. They also look really good. Opening rear hatches. There's the Ultraman Lambo up there as well. The orange Porsche. Just lots of cool stuff. Lamborghini Urus Performante, Audi R6 Avant, Audi R8 LMS Evo 2. Lots of cool castings coming up. Bugatti Tourbillon. And then we've got some Nissan stuff. So an R34, R35, and an R32 right there. There's the Bathurst Porsche. And one of the Le Mans Porsches looks really good. And here's some more prototype samples. I think this R32 was maybe one we already saw, but yeah, R32, R34. And then we also have a Lamborghini Miura, which is very, very cool. There's another photo of the Urus Performante. And then also a Lamborghini Countach, a Porsche 962, and then also a Porsche 917K. So it looks like they're going to keep hitting some of these old, like, legendary racers from back in the day, and I'm really, really excited to see some finished samples of these. They should be awesome. So moving on, Kiloworks. This is a regular pre-order model. It is a collaboration with the Boring Concept. It is the R8 LMS GT3 Evo 2. And yeah, very cool. Obviously, licensed by 610 Racing and Audi. And I think they did release this at like a special version at the GT show, where it was like chrome. Not exactly sure, but this is a regular pre-order for those wondering. These are also regular pre-order models. Mercedes AMG 1. There's one in Patagonia red and one that's in gray with the stars on the back end. So very, very cool. These look awesome. Cannot wait to get my hands on these. And then here is the HEC event models. I really, really hope they do more of these Amira GT4s or just release them globally at some point, these same ones. But yeah, everything here looks good. The Lotuses are awesome. The Audi R8 looks really good as well. And then you've got a Chrome AMG GT63. So there's those. They also had like a little like lottery system going on. Like if you bought event models from their booth, you had a chance to win items, which included some of these models. So there's that. They also announced this collaboration with Apex Predator Racing and Darwin Pro. It seems like a lot of brands are collaborating with Darwin Pro and the Boring Concept right now, but Kiloworks is one of them. The render of the model is on the right. It actually looks pretty good, and they had the real car there at HEC. So there's that. This was also a thing they showed off that I thought was noteworthy. I really like this livery. It's a Kiloworks sponsored car that's going to be racing in China, I believe. And yeah, it reminds me of like Monster Energy. It just looks really cool. I like the gray and the neon green with like the black and like the stripes and stuff. It looks really cool. Other than that, they pretty much they showed off a lot of Audi and a lot of Mercedes at this event. So here's all the AMG GT3s. There's a couple more of them right there. Just lots of Mercedes stuff. There's some SUVs back here. Some Audi stuff as well. The R8s. And then these are the RS3s, right? I think. But yeah, lots of cool stuff. There's the 2 Lotus event models right there. More R8s. Just lots of cool stuff from Kiloworks. I wasn't super impressed with the first model that I got from them, but it seems like they are really, really nice, and I just got unlucky. So I will probably start buying them as they come out. I think they're doing some cool stuff. So yeah, lots of good stuff. There's the AMG ones that are in pre-order. They look pretty good. Some Datsun 510 wagons. So this looks like a collaboration with Student Driver, which is pretty cool. So far, I think the only company I've seen do this stuff is Tarmac Works with the Student Driver. So pretty cool. There's those. More Mercedes. Everything looks really good here. So yeah, there's a really blurry photo. I don't know why this one came out so blurry, but this stuff in this top corner right here is actually the Kilo Wheels stuff, which is from what I hear, different brands, same factory, but they both have Kilo in their name, so I'm just going to call them sister companies because that seems like what they are. But here's all the Kilo Wheel stuff. There's Ford Bronco back there, some Mustangs. I'm not sure exactly what these 4 in the back are, but there's also some Porsches back here as well. So it looks like Kiloworks may be doing some Porsche 911 GT3s Rs. It seems like this is like year of the Porsche. Kiloworks yeah, we got Killworks, AR Box, and not to spoil it, but it's coming up soon. LCD is also doing Porsche. So yeah, this is like we got Trends Hobby. Yeah, this really is year of the Porsche. So, anyways, moving on. LCD models. We've got a couple pre-orders for them, a couple regular pre-orders. This is the Pagani Utopia Roadster in carbon red. Looks pretty good. It's all full carbon, of course. Then we have this guy right here. This is a Wyra R Evo. We actually didn't show this in the live stream. This just got posted. After it got posted like right after the live stream. So this one looks really cool in white and gold. Just a regular pre-order here. And then we've got a few Range Rovers. One in Velocity Blue, one that's black with a gold roof, and then one in Ionian Silver. So these are all just regular releases as well. They look pretty good. And then some event models. These were both Hobby Expo China. So we've got the Lamborghini Murcielago in Giallo Orion and the Lamborghini STO in black and gold. This is also a collaboration with Tech Wrap, which is another company that I've seen a lot of brands in China collaborating with. So just kind of interesting. Both of these were limited to 1,699 pieces total. Then we also have these two right here, the Honda NSX, that's also a Tech Wrap collab model, and then the Pagani Huayra Roadster. The Pagani is limited to 999 units, and then the NSX is limited to 699. So there's those. They also this was supposed to be an exclusive at one of the past shows. I think it was either the GT show or the Cool Car show. But this is the Koenigsegg CC850. This is just a regular release. It is going to be available globally for everyone, at least anywhere that you buy your LCDs from online. And yeah, they sold it also as a first launch at HEC. They also had this one that this is also going to be a regular release as well, but they were going to sell it at HEC. They ended up canceling it for HEC because they were not happy with the quality control of the production of these, which big respect to LCD, where they can actually say, you know what, we're going to pull back. We're not going to sell this model at the event. This one needs some work. I respect that. So that is cool. Again, I spoiled it a few minutes ago, but Porsche authorization for LCD models, which makes sense because AR Box, Motor Helix, LCD, they all share the same factories, so they can all kind of just share licenses too, which is totally fine with me. Do what you got to do. As long as it's all legit, I don't care. But yeah, we're going to get Porsche from LCD, which is awesome. So very cool. Here is some of the prototypes shown off by LCD. So we do see a couple Porsches here. The 550 Spider, or actually, was it the 550 Spider or Roadster? I don't remember what they called it, but this is also some larger scale stuff too. But you've got the Carrera GT, the 550, very, very cool. There's some of the bigger stuff there as well. I don't know if this 550 is 143 scale or 164. It's really hard to tell. I'm assuming this is 143, but I'm sure we'll see it in 164 as well. But we do have this sample of the Carrera GT in 164 scale. So looks like we got it from Mini GT and LCD upcoming now. So very, very cool. And then, of course, there was just some other nice stuff. Some Koenigsegg Agera RSs right here. These look like they're about done. Blue and yellow both look awesome. Also some Toyota stuff. So we got the GR Yaris and then also the Rally spec of it as well. I don't know if that's the Rally 1 or the Rally 2, but yeah, looks like they're going to keep doing Toyota things, which is pretty cool. Very high quality models. So moving on, Spark did announce that they're going to be making all of the GT500 cars from the 2025 Super GT season. So that's a big thing to look forward to. Lots of cool stuff here. So yeah, that's going to be cool. They also did put a bunch of new Formula One stuff on pre-order. So this one right here from 2023, the Mercedes, that's on pre-order now, I guess. And then we have a bunch of the 2020, pretty much all of the 2026 Formula One cars. I think they differ. So like some of them are from the Australian Grand Prix, some of them are from the Chinese Grand Prix, Japanese Grand Prix, but all of the 2026 stuff is going to be covered here. So pretty much everything to my knowledge. I'm not really the biggest F1 fan, so I don't know, but I believe this covers all of the racing teams. So there you go. There's these as well. And then these, I think these are the last ones. So very cool for F1 fans. Lots of cool stuff coming. They also did announce a pre-order for these Toyota GR10 hybrids from the 2025 Le Mans. So this is going to be awesome. These are the Toyota hypercars that are obviously run in WEC. And yeah, these are going to be awesome. I don't know why the photos are so bad. This actually wasn't even on my end. This was just, there was no good photos of these. So yeah, I'll share more photos if we get some clear ones because these are horrendous. But anyways, very cool. Um, these also popped up as new pre-orders, but I'm kind of doubting that they are at this point. These apparently have been released a long time ago, and they're all Macau. They're all Macau cars, but yeah, they came up as new pre-orders, but these have already been done, so I don't know if they're going to be like re-releasing them with updated quality. Really not sure, but I figured I'd show them anyways. Also had some event models from the GT show, so two Porsche 917Ks. I really wish they would release these as regular versions because these are awesome. Really, really cool with the tire printing and everything. So hopefully we see more of these come out as regular releases from Spark. They also did sell this Red Bull F1 car at the GT show, and then for HEC they had this one right here. So very cool. Look Smart kind of falls under the same umbrella as Spark. They did show off a pre-order for this one, so this kind of goes along with that big F1 pre-order from Spark, except Look Smart's the one that does Ferrari. So here is your 2026 Ferrari F1 car from Look Smart. So they also did put out a pre-order for this one, Ferrari 296 GT3 from 2023 Nürburgring. Looks pretty good. Moving on, Mini Champs. This is the only little bit of news I have from them this time. An F1 car for HEC. Pretty cool. Moving on, ignition model. We mentioned it at the beginning of the video, but the top secret stuff for Mini GT is canceled, and it is also canceled with ignition model. So these three models will not be released. They did show off this one right here. This is going to be the exclusive for the Manila Auto Show. RWB 993 in orange. Looks really, really cool. And then they also had a display at HEC. Not a whole lot of stuff, but some really cool stuff. I really like that Valent RWB right there. That one looks cool. There's the event model for Manila. And yeah, lots of cool stuff. We've seen some of it before. This Super right here is awesome as well. So yeah, lots of cool stuff. Now into Tomica Limited Vintage. We have a new pre-order from them. So this is the Leopard tank, the 2A5. So that one is pretty cool. Then we have the Hino Profia 40-foot sea container trailer. So that one's pretty cool as well. Two Porsches. The blue one is a Porsche 911 1965 in light blue, and the red one is a Porsche 911S 1967 in red. Now for these, the light blue one is a Toyota Crown Sedan Taxi in light blue, and then the dark blue one is a Toyota Crown Super Deluxe. So pretty cool there as well. These are also kind of cool. Honda Street V 4-wheel drive 1997 is the dark gray one, and then the white one is the Honda Street G Raccoon 4-wheel drive 1994 in white. So there we go. Couple new Mitsubishis. So these are both the same thing, just different colors. It's the Lancer Evolution 9 GSR from 2005. And they also, I believe this was at HEC. I think they did have a display. I didn't see any other photos except for this one. This is the only photo I saw of their like display, but really, really cool. Jaguar E-Type. So we've got the Series 1 Roadster and the Series 1 Coupe. These are going to be really, really cool, I think. So yeah, moving on. We have BMC, so they've got a couple Honda Civics up on pre-order, one in yellow, one in blue. They also have this one, which I believe is a Tokyo Station exclusive. So there's that. And like kind of bouncing off the whole thing with Top Secret and Nissan, BMC, I'm going to skip forward just a sec. BMC is continuing to make top secret stuff, it looks like. And along with that, it looks like Nissan is no longer licensing BMC's products. So the top secret stuff has no mention of Nissan anymore, and neither does this Safiro. So I don't know if BMC decided to give up on Nissan licensing. So yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I don't really know what to think of it. It's just, I don't know. You just get into a gray area that like I don't know. Especially because this is a Formula Drift car, and like I don't know. It should be licensed by Nissan, but it looks like it's not. I don't know. I don't know. It makes me sad that BMC decided to go that route just to make top secret stuff. There's so much other stuff to make. But anyways, there's the A31 Nissan Safiro Custom Formula Drift car. There's another D-Max Fake Police. That's a pretty cool livery there. And then, of course, the top secret stuff. These were their event models for HEC, R34, and R35. Wow. They also have this one. This is the Toyota Fortuner GR Racing. Gazoo Racing 2018. This one is also going to be an exclusive for the Manila Auto Show. For the Cool Car Show 2026, they're going to have this Honda EG6 from Japan Touring Car Championship 1993. And then they also had their display at HEC. So there's their top secret stuff. As you can see, no mention of Nissan, which I don't know. It kind of goes against my spidey senses. But at the same time, it's like if Nissan's not going to approve top secret stuff, then does that just mean that nobody can make it? It's like I feel like there's going to be a gray area, but I don't know. Hopefully, more information surfaces on about why this is happening. But there's that another one of those Sephiros again. Really wish they were licensed by Nissan. It just seems like they are not. So, but yeah, pretty cool stuff. They do a lot of cool things like that Daihatsu Charade, Toyota 11s from JTCC, of course. So very cool stuff. Into Hobby Japan, we've got two more initial D models. So we've got the Toyota Sprinter Torino AE86 and the Toyota Corolla 11 AE86. We also have this right here. This is Hobby Japan Sub-Series JDM64, and this is the Honda Civic Type R Mugen Group B in matte silver. Then we also have these guys right here. So these are the Suzuki Swift Sports ZC32S, one in yellow, one in silver, one in white, and one in blue. And then we have these right here, which are also Suzuki Swift Sports, and these are the ZC33Ss. So one in yellow, one in white, one in silver, and one in blue. So pretty cool there. They also showed these off. A few different colors of the Toyota Land Cruiser 70. I assume this is just a pre-order announcement. So yeah, one in beige, one in white, and one in black. They look really good. For Barago, I've got a couple things. Just this one slide right here. I believe these are just for the China market. I don't know if these were HEC models or anything, but yeah, Lamborghini Temerarios and the Ferrari Daytona SB3. I personally don't think that these look that great, but if there's anybody out there that does like collecting these Baragos, there you go. Moving on, Greenlight Premium. At least I think it was Greenlight Premium, but as you can see at the top, they've changed it to Greenlight Premier. So is Premier their new like premium range? I don't really know, but I believe all the ones I have to show you are event models. I don't know what this one was for, but yeah. Nissan Skyline GTR R34 in a Nismo theme. Then there's also the Chevy Express van in an NYPD theme. And then we also have this one. I know that for sure this one was their AGC exclusive, but this was the 1967 Mustang Eleanor. So pretty cool. I don't know. Greenlight seems like they don't really know what they're doing with their branding. I feel like this is the second time they've rebranded this premium line. So I don't know what's going on with them. Hopefully they actually start releasing some models for sale at some point. But anyways, moving on. Kyosho, just this one. They released this for HEC. It is the HKS Nissan Skyline GTR Group A from 1993. And of course, this is one of the ones that has the light up features. Moving on, ATS, this is the last brand for this video, so we're almost done. If you watched the live, you would have missed this because these just came out, but I really like ATS. They seem to be making some good stuff, and they seem to be very authentic, so yeah, we've got a couple Aston Martin DB5s up for pre-order here, one in this ice blue color, and then one in British Racing Green. They look really, really, really nice. So there's those. They also did have some event models for HEC. This one is the Mazda MX-5 from Initial D. So they've got a big collab cooking with Initial D, which is very cool to see. And then they also had this one that they were selling at the event. I don't know if these were actually exclusive to HEC or if these were just first launches, but I know they were selling some of these models there. So they also had this Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 3 GSR for sale at the event. And here's some of their stuff that was on display. So we've got some Toyota GR Supras, some Mitsubishi Lancers, very cool stuff. In fact, I think I see the prototype sample for their Maserati MC12 right there as well, which is really cool. There's the Aston Martin DB5s. They look awesome. Some Subaru BRZs in the background. There's another angle of the Supras and Mitsubishi Lancers. And then I think this was another one of the models that they were selling at the event as well, a little AE86. And then there's a Subaru Impreza sample as well. So lots of cool stuff from them. And they also had a really cool diorama, initial D drifting diorama set up at the event as well, which I thought was kind of neat. So yeah, ATS, I've been liking what I've been seeing from them. Lots of cool stuff. And that was the last slide. That was over 350 photos. And yeah, we've been going for an hour and 10 minutes. So trying to get through it quick. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. So, anyways, I apologize these videos have been so long. There has just been so much stuff to cover from all these brands. But as always, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if I forgot anything. Let me know what you think of all this stuff down in the comments for what you're excited for. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one.